I put my glasses on so I'd seem smarter. Hey yo, it's Damo, and today is Wednesday, and Wednesday on my channel is Whatever Wednesday, where I talk about whatever it is I want to talk about. And today I'd like to talk about the social details and discrepancies found within the sub-generations of Generation Y and rice cakes. We'll start with rice cakes. So I'm, how do you say, addicted to rice cakes. This is a bag of empty rice cakes. Salt and vinegar is my jam, apparently. I've also got a bag of sour cream and chives. There is that flavoring on them. Oh god. Why are you so good? Why? Gotta wash it down. Oh, gotta choke and burp. Gotta do all those things. Yeah, so basically I went to the shops and I was like, oh look, rice cakes. And I bought some, and now I can't stop buying some and eating some. And some is maybe code for many, because I just don't seem to stop. Anyway, now we can move on to the thing that I really wanted to talk about, which was the verbal diarrhea that I expelled on you earlier. Wow, that was a really appealing image. Pretty much what I said earlier meant that within Generation Y, which is my generation and most likely your generation, I found that there seems to be 3 sub-generations, and they all have slightly different tendencies, and it makes me think that maybe we should each have our own name. So that's what I've done, because I am the namer of generations. Basically, I've identified these sub-generations and I've decided on their names based on their characteristic. So I'm gonna go through that now for you, then we're gonna talk about what I think separates them. Yes, goodbye. Apparently the video is over. Bye, see you later. I have no idea why I said that. So the youngest sub-generation in Generation Y is what I have, so there is a hair flying towards my face. No, it's gone. So the youngest sub-generation in Generation Y is something I have so carefully named the swaggy generation. And this pretty much covers anyone who is currently the age of 16 or below-ish, around that. Maybe those born in the late 90s to early 2000s type thing, that I think that's a time period. Well, it's definitely a time period, but I think that's a time period I want. I'm talking about the group of people who, when they were kids, mobile phones were a really common thing, and they had one in primary school and it wasn't that weird, and they've always had the internet and things like that. And basically I call them the swaggy generation because they just have so much swag. Swaggy, swiggy, swag. Then after that is my sub-generation, which is kind of 16 to 24-ish, and these are the people who saw, as kids, the rise of mobile phones and the rise of the internet. And I've so delicately named my sub-generation the Indie Gen because basically we're all a bunch of individual people who have to stand out. We can't fit in with everyone else. We've got to be our own person. Pretty much, we're a bunch of giant wankers. Look at me, I've got blue hair and my hipster glasses on, I've got a spacer in my ear, but you know what all of that means? It just means that I am now blending in with my generation again. So, I'm not really that different, no one's really that different, so maybe we should just get over ourselves. Just an idea. And then after that is the last sub-generation of Generation Y, which is 24 up to whatever the end of Generation Y is. And basically this was a generation where they would go through most of school without a mobile phone. Maybe if they were lucky they had one near the end of high school, and the internet wasn't established in high school, it was just sort of starting, and they saw the rise of it, but they were older when it happened. They're just sort of a step above me. Basically the name kind of sums them up. I've named them the 3315 generation because they were the generation where everyone had a Nokia 3315 because it was the phone. I mean, if you think about it now, the phone to have is an iPhone, which is, you know, this massive in comparison screen with touch and color, and back then you were lucky to have Snake on your phone. It was a luxury. The screen was like this big and it was green and black. It wasn't even black and white, and it was a brick, and the battery life was glorious. Oh god, take me back to then, please. So pretty much those are the 3 sub-generations that I think I've identified within Generation Y. Quick recap on those, we've got, number 1 is Swaggy Gen, and they always have to rebel in some way apparently, and they grew up with mobile phones and the internet. Number 2 is Indie Gen, which is my generation. We always have to be wankers and try and be different. We saw the rise of mobile phones and the internet as kids. And number 3 is 3315 Gen, and they saw the rise of mobile phones and the internet, but it was a little bit late and they didn't really have that, and they're perfectly fine to just blend in. And I've noticed that, I know that, you know, it's quite common to hang out with people closer to your age, but I've noticed that the 3 sub-generations tend to stay in their little cliques because they have a lot more in common because they grew up in such different situations. You don't normally see someone from the Indie Gen hanging out with the Swaggy Gen, but you can sometimes see an Indie Gen hanging out with a 3315 Gen. I mean, I do live with 3 people from the 3315 Gen, but then again, I don't act like a 12-year-old, so... Wow, way to prove my point. So yeah, that's a thing that I've noticed, and I just wanted to share that with you because that's what I do. I'm not sure if it's something that you only see in Australia or if you would see it worldwide. If you live in Australia or another country, let me know in the comments. Do you agree? Do you think that there are 3 sub-generations for Generation Y? I'm gonna try and not burp, but it's pushing... I tried really hard, I'm sorry. Yeah, let me know in the comments below, do you think there are 3 sub-generations for Generation Y? Do you agree with the characteristics I've given them? Do you like the names I've given them? And is it something that you notice now that I've mentioned it, or did you notice it before, or do you still not notice it? So let me know those things down there right now, because the video's almost over. I didn't script any of this video, and it took way too long to film. However, I do believe that it came across more genuine. I don't even know what my own name is anymore. That wasn't really a fun topic, was it? It was just kind of something I noticed. Hopefully you were still amused. If not, well then, there's not much you can do about it really. You're gonna have to deal with it. If you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, you can do it anyway. You can also share it with your friends and subscribe if you haven't already. I post a new video every weekday. If you're confused about that and like, what the hell are you doing, Damien? You're meant to post on Saturdays only. You can click here to go see the video where I'm explaining what the hell is going on. Other than that, that's all I've got for you today. I will see you tomorrow for Do the Thing Thursday, which will be a tutorial video. And until then, have a beautiful existence. I appreciate your soul. Bye.